They said you can't turn a hoe into a housewife,
Well, we've proven them wrong.
but you know
We're still keeping it nasty.
This is the Host to Housewives podcast.
Welcome back, guys. This is Host to Housewives, and I'm Keenan.
I'm Katie.
And today we are going to talk about divorce.
In episode 9.
Episode 9.
Right?
I think so.
I think I just edited 8. So 9.
It's 9. It's episode 9. Yeah.
I think in our TikTok I said 8.
No, you said 9.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, well, whatever. You know.
Episode 9.
Whatever it is. Yeah, we think it's episode 9.
Okay.
Maybe one day we'll just stop saying what episode it is so we don't get screwed up.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
But not until after 10.
So on my way over here, I saw a car with a license plate that said Mrs. to Miss.
Meaning married to divorced, basically, or to single. You would assume.
You would assume.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, one, you're in a Nissan Pathfinder. What are you
I don't know if
glamorizing?
there's anything wrong with a Nissan Pathfinder.
What are you glamorizing that you got out of the divorce? Like if you're driving like your Mercedes, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, like she got something out of the divorce.
She got the wagon out of the
She
divorce.
got the wagon out of the divorce. You're in a Nissan Pathfinder. Why are we glamorizing divorce? Why are we showcasing that?
So, in my opinion, I think that women are glamorizing it to mask the trauma.
Because divorce is traumatizing.
It usually is, yeah.
I mean,
Unless you're in a lavender marriage and you're like, oh, you know, we want to get married to our real, you know, whatever. And they're just like, peace out.
it's just weird to me that the divorce parties,
Okay.
the divorce photo shoots, like what is so wonderful about being single in your midlife that your marriage failed? And I'm not talking you were getting beat, because if you were in a toxic, abusive
we'll go
marriage,
into that.
I'm glad you got out. But what is so wonderful about, why are you glamorizing being single in your midlife?
Yeah. And like I said, I really truly believe it's a coping mechanism. Like, you know, oh, I was in this relationship, it didn't work out. Now I'm single and I get to be me again. Because when you get married, you're technically supposed to become one.
Yeah.
Yes, you remain your own autonomy, but you've merged, right? And so you're supposed to be together, a couple as one or whatever. Or at least that's what basically the Bible says, right? Like, you know me, I don't read the Bible, but
You do.
I'm
become
assuming.
one. You become one.
So you become one. So, I mean, that's my thoughts, is that they're obviously just trying to cope. Because I think divorce, when you hear that someone got a divorce or they're a divorcee or whatever, it's got this negative what's the word I'm looking for? Negative
Connotation.
associated with it. And so I think they're trying to spin it that it's actually a positive versus a negative. And
Can we stop doing that?
Well, yes, but I think in some cases it is a positive. But I'm not one to glamorize a breakup, really.
I just think, like, as a society, like, stop it. Fucking stop it. I don't want to glamorize divorce. I don't want to glamorize up and leaving your partner for reasons that aren't your safety, health, whatever. I want to see healthy marriages. Like, as a society, if someone gets a divorce, I want to be there to support you.
Sure.
I want to say, how can I help you in this situation that you
Right.
are in? You know, it's not a nice situation to be in. I want to support you in all the ways that I can. I don't want to throw you a fucking party. To me, that's weird.
I mean, yeah, to me that's weird too, but you know how I feel about being the center of attention is not my thing. So like if you're talking about like having a divorce party, like I'm that's not for me. But I would be devastated
Yeah.
if I had to get a divorce from my husband because, well,
Most people would. I want to stop glamorizing it. Sit in the sadness, accept the sadness. I don't want to throw a party for you. I want to be
True.
there for you, to support you, because I know that it's a traumatizing thing. I don't want to brush over it like, oh my God, you know, you got a divorce, woohoo. I don't want
Yeah.
that. I don't want, and as a society, I feel like covering it up like that, we are doing everyone a disservice.
Yeah.
The young women who are driving in the car and they see that license plate
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, huh, how funny, that's cute. Now it's in
Right.
her mind when she gets older that it's okay if she gets married and just gets a divorce. Like, it's fine.
Sure. But I think for a lot of women, especially like the older generation, divorce was never an option. And so maybe it's them feeling like they actually have options now. That if they are in a bad marriage, they don't have to stay simply because that's what's expected of them. That they have the freedom to choose. I'm not saying that as soon as you're inconvenienced, you should just get a divorce. But I do think that because as women, we didn't have a lot of rights for the longest time. And now that we do, even though people are out there trying to say that we're getting our rights taken away, like what the fuck ever, not happening. But I think that a lot of people or women just think, oh, well, we didn't have the choice to get divorced, a long time ago. And now we can, we don't have to stay. But I do feel like a lot of the time people just jump the gun on divorce because they didn't have the hard conversations before marriage.
Right. Well, and for me, like, I understand leaving when it's bad, but the
Sure.
leaving over an inconvenience,
Mm-hmm.
that I don't want that for the future generation. I don't want that for our generation now. Even if you like, if you're in a situation and you don't have communication with your partner, you're not having sex with your spouse, you're
Right.
not feeling valued, have a conversation.
Lots of
Lots of
conversations.
conversations and work towards it. I don't like the idea that as a society we are ready to just get a divorce at
Sure.
the smallest inconvenience.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like there are a list of things that justify divorce, but I also feel like there's a big list of things that don't.
Yeah.
And I feel like they choose sometimes that the inconveniences or the differences in opinions or whatever just, oh, I'll just get a divorce.
Literally.
It's fine. I'll just get a
Literally.
divorce. And I think that's why a lot of people say that straight people are the ones that have ruined marriage. Because we just get divorces. Like, we're just like handing out candy at Halloween. You get a divorce, you get a divorce, you get a divorce. Everybody gets a divorce. Not me.
Not me.
Like, I don't want to get a divorce.
You don't even talk about divorce.
We don't.
The
Yeah,
D word is like,
it's not allowed.
yeah.
No, because and I'm not saying that if for some reason my husband's personality completely switched like that and he just started beating the shit out of me, that I would not leave. I'm not saying that.
That's a reason to leave.
Right. Or if for some reason he had this long ass affair and has been lying to me forever and ever and ever or whatever. I'm not saying those situations, but anything else, we're expected as a married couple to figure out a way to work through it.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of hard conversations before we got married.
Yeah.
So we knew kind of what our core values were going in. Now, granted, people lie to get you to do whatever they want you to do. And so, yeah, sometimes the person, you do have these conversations and you find out that they lied to you the whole entire time. And there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
And then you have to make a choice at that point. But for us, like, we don't even joke about divorce. Like, oh, if you don't buy me this car, I'm going to divorce you. Or, oh, if you do this, I'm going to divorce you and take all of your money. Well, one, it's our money. But like, we don't even joke about that because like JJ and I do not have a prenup.
I don't have one either.
Right. We have all these businesses, and if we were to get a divorce, it would be, we live in Texas, it would be 50-50. But like, we don't even joke about that. Like, it's not an option for us.
We do.
I know.
I joke about it. I'll say shit. I'll be like, because, okay. So if anybody watches AGT, Sofia Vergara, she is single.
I have no idea anything you just said.
AGT, America's Got Talent.
Oh, okay.
Sofia Vergara, she's recently single.
Yes, she was married to Joe, whatever his name was, right? The younger guy.
Joey loves her.
Well, yeah, she's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's like 50 something. She's hot.
She's so hot.
So hot. Yeah.
And so like he'll joke, right? And he'll be like, "Oh, my girlfriend's single. My girlfriend's single." And I'm like, "Honey, she's not gonna want you with no money because I'm gonna take it all." You know, like, go ahead, go for your girlfriend because you
Yeah.
have nothing to your name.
Nothing. Yeah.
And so like we make jokes like that. They're all playful, and I know that you guys don't even
Mm-mm.
joke about that.
If
at
he was
all.
like my TV girlfriend, he would show up with a black eye the next day, and I'd be like, "What happened?" I'd be like, "Man, Keenan just knocked me the fuck out because I was talking about my TV girlfriend." Not really. I would never hit him, but we don't. Yeah, we don't joke about that stuff.
See, and like that's beautiful, wonderful, the respect.
But that's for us. That's us.
Yeah.
Not everybody is like that.
I just, if I ever did get a divorce, I would take half a shit. But I'm
What?
not going to because divorce is not an option for us either. Like
Right.
we both come from divorced families.
Mhm.
And so we are not, it's not ever an actual option. The other thing is we've gone through a lot of stuff that people would divorce over,
Right.
you know, and
Before y'all got married.
before we got married.
Yeah.
And we both made the decision to change.
Yeah.
We actually were remorseful, did the work.
Right.
And so we've already had our chance, right?
Mhm.
So if something like that did ever happen again, then yes, it's
Right, because you've resolved it, been through it, and said it'll never happen again. And then if it did, obviously,
we set the ground for
right, you set the boundary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will be
For both of you.
Yeah. That will be the line.
Right.
And if you cross it, then you know what'll happen. But we've had those conversations, like, but I'm not just gonna willy-nilly, like, oh, you're not having sex, like you're going through a dry spell, whatever. Get over it.
Right.
Like episode whatever. Get over it. Fuck your husband.
Get over it. Just have sex with your husband. Yeah, so for us, like joking about it in our mind plants a seed
Mhm.
that it's an option when it's not. And so, like, we don't play talk about divorce, we don't play fight, and like we don't we don't prank each other. Like these videos that I see of like husbands and wives pranking each other, like if I open a door and a fucking pie hits me in the face, we're going to have a problem. Like I'm not into that. I don't like pranks. I don't like practical jokes. It's not for me. I don't want to be embarrassed or made to look like a fool, or especially from the person that's supposed to love me unconditionally. And so like we just have some hard boundaries and we
Mhm.
never cross them ever. Like we've never ever talked about divorce. We've never ever wrestled or fought. And I'm not talking about in the bedroom, okay? Like I'm not talking about him spanking my ass. But like, you know, we just don't do that.
The idea of divorcing for inconvenience is bullshit. It's gross. Stop it. There are reasons to divorce,
Sure.
like abuse,
Emotional, financial, physical, yeah.
Yeah. Cheating.
And yeah, cheating.
But cheating isn't always a be all end all to divorce.
True. I obviously know people who have gone through affairs or cheating or whatever, and they decided to make it work. And I can like, it's definitely situational, right?
Mhm.
Because like, to me, something that would be forgivable in the long run would be husband goes out with his buddies, he drinks too much, he makes a stupid mistake, he acknowledges that mistake, and we try to work past it. Okay. Obviously, he's not going to put himself in situations like that again.
Right.
That's completely different to me than a man who actively has an affair for an extended period of time behind their wife's back.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she finds out, gaslights her, blames her for it, etc., etc., and vice versa. If a woman does it to a man, I'm just, you know, it's a women's podcast, so I don't tell you. But to me, that's completely different.
Yeah.
I can't get past that.
For sure.
Because it's the deceit of it.
The difference though is it's not necessarily the affair versus just a one night stand cheating.
Right.
The difference is their action afterwards.
Yeah.
If
not being able to take accountability.
If you take accountability, you recognize why you did it,
Right.
and you actually make an effort to change,
Sure.
that is when it's like, okay, you can maybe work this out.
Maybe
And
try to work through this.
that's
Yeah.
not to say, like, if you've been cheated on and you are at a point where you cannot move past it, because it's the other thing, like, when something like this happens, it has to be honest with yourself, with your spouse, the one who cheated, the one who was
Right.
cheated on. You have to be honest, because there's some people who just will never be able to move past it, and that's
Yeah.
fine. But if you're willing to forgive someone and they're willing to actually make the work
Right.
and change, then you don't have to get a divorce. And I don't feel like anyone should be shamed for staying, you know.
No, definitely not, because nobody knows the inner workings of your marriage like you do.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, unless you share them with a person, then obviously they may have a different perspective. But I mean, for me, I just there's some things I think I can get over,
Mm-hmm.
and there's some things I would never be able to get over.
Yeah, and it's gonna be different for everybody, but just cheating doesn't have to mean divorce,
Right.
in my opinion.
But little inconveniences like, oh, I'm trying to think of something too, like off the top of my head, because I've been reading a lot of Reddit lately.
I mean, sex is a big one. You're going
Sure.
through a dry spell,
Everybody kind of goes through a dry spell.
and you're, like we talked about, intimacy, right?
Right.
Imagine you've built this huge canyon between the two of you. You haven't had sex.
Right. And it just keeps getting wider and wider and wider.
That would be, in my opinion, an inconvenience until you've tried to work it out.
Right.
If you're just like, oh, we don't have sex anymore, I'm out. That's
Yeah.
an inconvenience. That's not that you're not even putting in the work. That's an excuse.
Unless I would say you've gone through all the counseling, all the everything, and nothing has ever changed.
Yeah.
And the spouse is like, either I just never want to have sex with you because I don't find you attractive anymore, or like, and I don't even know if I truly believe in this, but apparently it's a thing. If you're asexual, like you just don't want to have sex with anybody ever, like you never have the urge. That's weird to me, but apparently it's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a thing. They say they're asexual and like they don't want to have sex, period, with anybody, male, female, whatever. Then obviously someone who needs physical touch is going to say, well, this isn't going to work for me anymore, especially if that has significantly changed over the years, like where you used to be super intimate and now you aren't.
Yeah.
I'm still not saying that justifies necessarily a divorce, but eventually the other person's going to be like, these are my needs. Like, you're not meeting them. You know, you're not meeting them. We've talked about it until we're blue in the face, and nothing has ever changed. You've made promises. You've broken promises over and over and over and over again. I don't know how much longer I can do this, because I do believe that everyone deserves to be happy. But I do believe that you have to try to work through all of your grievances way before divorce is ever considered.
It shouldn't just be the forefront. Like, if you don't do this, we're getting a divorce.
Yeah. Like, he never does the dishes, I'm divorcing his ass. I mean, don't get me wrong. My husband really doesn't ever do the dishes either, but that's because, well, the house is mine to manage. And he offers, he's like, oh, I'll do those. Oh, I'll clean up. I almost am insulted. Like, bitch, I can do the dishes. Like, I don't need you to do the dishes. But also we have kids. And so I'm like, hey, like, we did all the cooking, y'all clean up or whatever. But I mean, like, minor inconveniences, like, are just little things, but like, you need to be having serious conversations about how you want to be married way before you get married.
Yeah.
But I think people just not think necessarily, but a lot of people are enamored with the wedding and not an actual marriage.
I want to talk about that in another podcast.
Okay.
Because that's a big deal.
It's a huge deal, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because, like, I just remember when JJ told me, like, a month or two into, like, seriously dating, that he was going to marry me. I was like, oh my God, this motherfucker is crazy. And then, of course, we got married within 8 months. And I didn't care about a wedding. I only wanted to be married to him. I did not care about any of that. It never even crossed my mind that we should be engaged for a 1 year and have a wedding and do all of that. That never even crossed my mind. And for him, he said this, and I truly believe this. If a man proposes to you, he should be ready to marry you then. This long engagement bullshit is exactly that fucking bullshit. My husband told me when he proposed to me, I proposed to you because I'm ready to marry you now. Like, I don't need to wait a year. Like, I want to marry you now. And I was like, well, I want to marry you now. And he's like, well, how do we do that? And it was just like, okay, well, marriage license and da 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 da. And here we are. Mm-hmm. And we married 3 weeks later. And it just literally, because it took us that long to figure out where we were going to do it. And he had a work schedule. He literally flew in on Friday. We got married Saturday. He flew back to work Monday. And I went back to work like, well, just got married this weekend. No
Happy
biggie.
honeymoon.
Happy honeymoon. We didn't even take a honeymoon.
Yeah.
We didn't go on our first real vacation together, like honeymoon type thing, until like 2 years later.
Yeah.
So, you know. But
I just think that, like,
you have to think past the wedding, you know? And I actually have seen some TV shows where people are like, oh, we're doing pre-marriage counseling. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Mm-hmm. I just think that, like, if you are so quick to jump the gun to get a divorce, you need to have a conversation with yourself.
Yeah.
Not just your partner.
Yeah.
Like, what is missing for you that you are so ready to go and get a divorce? Like, what? Because when you promise yourself to someone, promise to love them forever, what was that based on?
Right.
Because, like,
until you piss me off.
Until you piss me off.
Until I don't like how you chew your food.
Until someone else gives me more attention.
Right.
And I do think that, like, it is a choice on your part.
Absolutely. You have to choose your spouse every single day. Like, and you make a choice.
Yeah. And if you are already having it in your head that you're comfortable not choosing them,
mm-hmm.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Change your fucking mindset.
Yeah.
So I think if you already have it in your mind that divorce is an option, it's mm-hmm. going to put you in situations where you're going to not prioritize your marriage. Sure. Like, if you've already said, like, oh, I could just up and leave, every little thing is going to point you in that direction because it's already in your mind that it's an option. Whereas if it's not an option mm-hmm. and you're choosing every day that, like, you're going to work things out, that'll be your mindset. So dishes in the sink is not going to be like, oh my God, I can't stand it. This happens every day. I got to get divorced. You're not going to flirt with someone at work because you know that you're committed to your marriage. Right. It's not even going to open up that avenue
sure.
to lead to divorce. So, like, I don't like this idea of glamorizing divorce, that it should be an available option. It should be a last resort.
Yes, but so let me ask you this. Like, how long is a woman or a man supposed to stay in a marriage where they've brought all of these things to their significant other, and the significant other either says they're going to change and doesn't, or just blatantly is like, I don't give a fuck about that, like, whatever. Like, for example, it usually, in my opinion, a lot of divorce happens when kids are young. And it's because, in my opinion, that there is no true partnership in raising children in a lot of marriages. And a woman is like, well, I'm already basically a single mom, except that I have a husband who comes home and I have to take care of him too. When I could get a divorce and actually have a break, because they're going to be at dad's every other weekend. I might actually get to get a haircut or take a shower without being interrupted, or et cetera, et cetera. So, like, when is enough when you think divorce is an appropriate option?
I don't think that that's grounds for divorce.
That you're married to a piece of shit who doesn't help you raise your children, who thinks that simply because you're the woman that you have to do all the child rearing, even if you both have fucking jobs.
Okay. Shit.
Sorry. I get worked up about this because, anyways, this needs over there.
Okay, so I do think that if you have a job
mm-hmm.
and your husband has a job, then yes, you have to be equal partners.
Okay.
But at the same time, if you are having kids and as a woman, it's your responsibility to raise them. Like, I don't have kids, so I don't know. But in my mind, I would rather have a husband who goes to work and provides and like makes sure that I have a roof over my head
Okay.
than a husband who I would rather have that than someone who just comes to help with the dishes. I would rather take on the mental load of taking care of the kids and taking care of the house for a husband who provides over someone with that we're struggling.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. And let's say you're a stay-at-home mom with young children.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, he provides a roof over your head, all of those things, right? But he goes to work from 8 to 5. And when he gets home, he does nothing. He doesn't play with his kids, help with his kids. He doesn't help you cook dinner. He doesn't help you clean up. He does absolutely nothing. So you're telling me that her job has to start at 5 a.m. when that first baby wakes up till midnight after the last feeding or whatever it is, and he gets to just do fuck all nothing?
I'm not saying that that's right
Okay.
because it's not. Like, you're a shitty fucking husband, a shitty fucking dad. Like, yeah, that sucks. But I don't think that that would be a reason that I would get a divorce.
But let's say you've brought all of these concerns to him and you've somehow convinced him to go to counseling. And he still does not fucking care and says, bitch, it's your fucking job 24/7 to take care of these kids. I bring home the money. You do what I say. I might smother him in his sleep first.
Life insurance policy.
Not fucking life insurance policy. But I mean, this is a big controversial topic.
Yeah.
I see both sides. Don't get me wrong, because I am now a stay-at-home mom slash wife. I take care of this house. It is my job. I do not ask my husband or even really my children to help me clean.
Right.
The boys have to clean their
Their rooms.
rooms and their bathrooms and do their own laundry, and they help clean up after dinner. But other than that, I don't really ask them to do anything because I don't work anymore.
Yeah.
So this house is my job. And when JJ says, oh, let me do that for you. No, I got it. It's my job. But when you have small children that require constant attention all the time, their food has to be made separately. They have to be fed separately or whatever the thing is. Like, and you get no help from a partner, regardless if being a stay-at-home mom is your only job. A stay-at-home mom never ends and never gets any sort of compensation or pay.
There's no doubt in my mind that that is unacceptable.
Okay.
But I don't see it as grounds for divorce.
Even if it's been going on so long that you hate this motherfucker because he's a piece of shit and he's never going to change, and you are on the verge of a mental fucking breakdown.
I see
Because-
that.
Because if you're having kid after kid, even if it's just 3, right? And let's just say you have a year break in between. So you've got a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 5-year-old, okay? And you've been having kids this whole time. Basically, your body has never fully healed. And you've been sleep deprived for 5 years. No sleep. You're getting up, the most you've ever gotten is like 4 hours. Do you know that that increases a woman's chance for postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis?
Yes. But I still don't.
And
I
a man who
I don't think
doesn't care about
I
your
don't think
mental
it's grounds
health?
for divorce.
No, it's grounds for fucking murder. Because a man like that or a partner like that, even if he's a stay-at-home dad and you've got a wife that goes out and is like, you wanted these fucking kids, I gave them to you. It's your fucking job to take care of them, and I'm not doing shit.
You picked a shitty partner, but I don't see that as it's grounds for divorce. I don't. Unfortunately, I don't because I think someone's got to do it and someone's got to provide. I don't see it as ground for divorce. Like, you've got to be able to figure it out. You've got to be able to change and work through it.
But if you can't,
I don't know, dude.
how long do you have to put up with that type of behavior before it's appropriate to get a divorce?
So you would rather get a divorce and be a single parent trying to maintain a household by yourself
But
now
the thing
with
is,
kids.
when you're a single parent, you actually get a break because he has joint custody, which means typically in the state of Texas, he will get the child Wednesday and Thursday on the weeks that he doesn't have him for the weekend. And then the weekend that he does have him, he doesn't, right? So at least 2 days a week, you're getting a day to either go get your hair done, get all the grocery shopping done without 5 kids in tow, get your house clean, laundry done with no interruptions, and actually get some sleep. Because you don't have kids, and my kids are basically grown. You still need time for yourself to take care of yourself. Just because you're a mom doesn't mean that you no longer exist to anyone except as a mother. You're still a woman, you're still a wife. And if you don't have time to take care of your mental health because you're sleep deprived, emotionally drained, and have absolutely no help at home, like obviously you're already a single mom. So at least if you're divorced, you've got maybe 2 days a week where you get time to yourself to actually collect your thoughts and be a normal person.
I just don't know if I don't know if it's grounds
Well,
for
when you have
divorce.
kids and you understand what it's like to be completely sleep deprived, your hormones to be fucked, even more fucked than what they are right before your period, you're bleeding out of your fucking hoo-ha for 6 weeks, and your husband's pressuring you to have sex after week 2 because, oh, his needs have to be met, or, oh, just give me a blowjob. Bitch, I just popped out a fucking kid. And that's if you're lucky to pop the kid out of your vagina and you don't have to have your abdomen fucking ripped open. And then you're supposed to just pick up a baby and carry him up and down all over the place, wear him, strap him to you, do all this shit. And he just fucking sits there like a piece of shit.
I'm not saying that that's not wrong. I'm not saying that he's not shit.
But you're saying he's not shitty enough to leave him.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll revisit this conversation when Katie has kids. But the thing is like, I could go on and on about that all day. But the thing is like, divorce shouldn't be an easy choice.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be the immediate response to any little inconvenience. But there obviously are reasons to separate and get a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, divorce isn't my favorite thing. Like, I know how traumatizing it can be. My parents are still married. And I can't say whether that's a good thing or a bad thing because, like, I don't really ever see my parents, like, interact in a loving way. They just exist together.
Mm-hmm.
But they've been married for almost 50 years. And so I don't know what it's like to be married for 50 years. So I can't even comment on that. But, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I think some people are better apart.
I do agree. I do agree. Like, okay, so your husband is shit, not helping you with the kids. Like, yeah, I think you'd be putting yourself in a really shitty situation to get a divorce with young kids, being a single mom.
But just think if I never would have left him. No, we were not married. If I wouldn't have left Gage's dad, I wouldn't be in this wonderful marriage.
You'd probably be miserable.
He and I both would have been miserable. We were not right for each other. And we made this beautiful baby and we love Gage so much and we are such good co-parents. It took us a while to get there, but we are better apart than we are together, than we ever were together. Like, we're able to compromise now and there's no heated discussions. Gage is our number one priority. Like, we don't have all of this other stuff that was making us into these toxic people together.
Okay.
So we're so much better apart and our relationship has done a 180 since we split up.
Yeah.
He's happily married. I'm happily married. Gage is probably our most well-rounded kid, I would say. And, you know, Gage has the best of both worlds. We have 50-50. And so he's with Tim half the time, he's with me half the time. He has such a great relationship with his dad and Heather, and he has such a great relationship with me and JJ. And that's all I could ever ask for my kids. It's not all like that.
Yeah.
It's not always like that when people split up. But I think we recognized eventually that we were better apart. And then once we realized that and we made Gage our top priority and making sure that he was happy, then everything else just kind of fell into place. But we weren't married. You know, we did live together, but we weren't married.
I do think, okay, going back, it's like, if it's a choice and you are actively choosing to, like you said, like now you and Gage's dad are able to have healthy relationship
Yeah.
as co-parents.
Yeah.
Whereas when you were together, it might not have been
It was
healthy.
not healthy at all.
Then yeah, if you're in a situation like that and you're married, divorce has to be the only thing because you have to put your kid first.
Right. And if we would have stayed together, I feel like it would have damaged not only Gage, but it would have damaged Aiden as well. And then, of
Yeah.
course, obviously, I wouldn't have Evan if I wouldn't have married JJ, but
Well, it would have damaged you too.
I was already damaged.
And it would have damaged him.
And he was too.
And
it would just would have got worse.
It would have just gotten worse for everyone. So if your partner is shitty to you, you have to.
Or if you're shitty together, like the way that you interact with each other is just so toxic and you don't even know why you're together anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I hate when people say, oh, I fell out of love. And so I'm just going to get a divorce.
You let yourself.
Yeah, that's my opinion. Like, if you were able to fall out of love with the person that you committed yourself to and actually committed to get married to me, that's a personal choice. Like, you never probably really truly loved them fully in the beginning anyways.
Mm-hmm.
You just thought, oh, I'm just going to get married.
Yeah, just get married.
I'm just going to get married. If it doesn't work out, I'll get a divorce.
Yeah, that's I don't want the future generation to have that mindset.
I understand that.
I want you to look at marriage as something lifelong, picking the right partner,
which is hard.
Right, because people are liars, I know.
Right.
But picking the right partner, spending the time to pick the right partner and make sure that you're making the right decision for your lifelong relationship, that's really important. And I don't like the idea that people glamorize divorce. Like, oh, willy-nilly, we're just going to get a divorce. We've been married for 30 years, but we just don't like each other anymore. Well, you did that along the way.
Yeah.
This didn't happen overnight. You did that along the way. You made a choice. So I want people to take more accountability.
Sure.
And take marriage seriously.
Yeah. And I get that. So, funny story. A friend of mine that we've been friends for before Aiden, so 22 years, something like that. It's longer than 5 years, but somewhere in between JJ and I getting married, her grandparents, who were in their 70s, got a divorce.
For what?
She's like, I don't know. She's like, what the fuck? She's like, my grandparents are getting a divorce. They're in their 70s. And then suddenly, they each had a boyfriend, girlfriend.
I don't want to say that just because you're 70 years old, that you shouldn't get a divorce because you only have so many years left and you should stay with your husband or wife or whatever. But also, like,
it could have just come out of nowhere, right?
But what are you doing at 70?
Yeah.
That you're having a conversation that you need to get a divorce.
I don't know.
That's weird. That's crazy.
It's the craziest story I've ever heard. Not even a little bit.
So at 70, you can still find happiness with someone.
Sure. Yes. I mean, but like, it's just crazy to me. Like, why not sooner? Your kids are gone. Like, what happened to make you to the breaking point at 70 years old? You know what I mean? So I don't know. But it was it was a very interesting time. She was like, Keenan, I don't even know.
That's
like,
wild.
It's wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
I mean,
yeah.
Hey. But the whole episode, I just don't think that people should get divorced. No, I sound like Susan. No, I just don't think that divorce should be glamorized.
And I get that. And it shouldn't be your first option for every little inconvenience, but obviously there are situations that warrant a divorce.
Yeah.
And, you have to just kind of figure out what those are and obviously make the best decision for yourself. But yeah, I mean, divorce, it's not our first option. I mean, granted, he would have to do something really wild for me to want to get a divorce. But anyways. So sometimes we have differing opinions on things, but for the most part, yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't like to glamorize divorce either. I don't want it to be the first option, and I definitely don't want it to be the first option for my kids.
No.
Like, I'm trying to raise them to, like, pick the right partner and to not be a shitty partner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I started having conversations with my kids about how to be a good dad when they were young.
Well, and like I think something about marriage, if you are with a partner who, going back on respect, if you are with a partner who doesn't respect you, who steps out of the lines of your marriage,
All the time.
marriage is a contract, and once you break the rules of that contract, that it's
Yeah.
null and void.
Yeah.
It doesn't withhold in court anymore.
Right.
You haven't followed the rules of this agreement.
Right.
Like, and if you don't respect me, I need to respect myself enough to not allow you to continue to walk
Right.
all over me.
Have you heard that rumor, and I have no idea if it's true or not, that if you commit adultery in your marriage starting in 2026, it will be illegal?
I heard that that was going to be a thing.
Is that true?
I don't know how they can prove it because right now, like Texas doesn't acknowledge that
Doesn't acknowledge what?
cheating as like a fault for divorce.
Well, that's because they're all cheating. All the ones who make the laws are all cheating. So it's like, why would they make a law that they can't even uphold themselves? But, we're the peasants and, it's only for us. It's not for them.
Right. Rules for thee, but not for me.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. But I mean, yeah, like if you break a contract, I mean, granted, it's a verbal contract because you only say your vows, right?
Yeah.
And then the contract is just a marriage license. So there is no actual terms written into a marriage contract unless
Right.
they change that.
Unless they change that.
Anywho, yeah. So Katie doesn't want to glamorize divorce. I agree. But I do think that there are a lot of stipulations that warrant a divorce.
I don't actually disagree.
Yeah.
I don't actually disagree. I think I just don't want it to be willy-nilly.
Sure.
I want to fight for marriage, and I think that marriage
But
should be something
both
that
people
fights
have
for.
to be fighting for it. Both people have to want the marriage. If one person doesn't want to be married to you but says, "Oh, I don't believe in divorce," fuck you, I'm divorcing you. I don't give a fuck if you believe in it or not. If you say you don't want to be married to me anymore, you hate me, you don't want to have sex with me, you don't find me attractive, you don't want anything to do with me, but it goes against what you believe,
Right.
I'm going to divorce you anyways, ho. Bye. Because I deserve to be with somebody who loves me. Everybody deserves to be with somebody who loves them. And, it may not be your first choice, but sometimes it's inevitable. And you have no choice but to get a divorce.
I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't willy-nilly get divorced. Fight for your marriage. I think that should be important. And
also,
if you're
don't invite Katie to your divorce party. She will not come.
And if
unless there's really good cake. Oh, wait, that's me.
That's you. And if you're going to glamorize your divorce with a license plate, at least make it look like you got something out of it. To the bitch with the Nissan Pathfinder.
I'm going to change my license plate from Miss to Mrs.
Mm-hmm. Literally. That should be glamorized. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm going to put that on my license plate.
Fuck yeah.
No way. I don't believe in custom license plates.
Oh, you're so lame.
What?
Thanks for joining us.
No. Hold on. We're going to have a conversation about custom license plates real quick because this is a safety tip for all my women out there.
Oh my God. You always got to turn it into something.
I'm just saying a woman should not have a personalized license plate because they're easy to memorize and easy for you to be stalked. Okay? That's my only point.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I still think some of them are cute. But
some are cute. But if you're at least going to have a personalized license plate, at least carry a gun.
Okay, fair.
But I still don't recommend it. It's very, very easy to memorize. And then it's very easy for people to frame you or stalk you. Anywho, goodbye.
Goodbye. See you next week.
Thanks for tuning into episode 9 1/4, I think, because we talked about 18 different things. All right. Have a great weekend, guys. Peace out.
Bye.